Hey babe, so I wanted to go ahead and make a video and give tribute to those who've made it this far this year, who are still alive, still breathing, still well, still healthy. And I just want to say that we made it. We made it to the end of the year, we're pushing through. We have overcome so much, so many trials and tribulations we've been put through, so many tests. And the vine is just like, I'm so happy for you. Like, I feel like our spirit guides are just like clapping for us. Okay, I feel like God is having the angels throw parties in heaven for us because we're doing so well. They're like, we're ready for them to come home. They're doing so well. Okay, so I just want to take this time to uplift y'all, give y'all some encouragement, let y'all know that y'all are doing so good. The divine wanted me to let y'all know that y'all are persevering, and instead of being down and depressed about certain things that don't work out, y'all are looking ahead and y'all are understanding that tests and trials are going to come, but y'all are overcoming very well. And I know this because you made it to the end of this year. I feel like living here on earth in the simulation, that sometimes it can be overwhelming. And I know that if you're still living, you have overcome so much, okay? And some people can't say they still here. Some people have lost their lives this year, okay? I have a lot of loved ones that have passed away that their death has still affected me till this day. And I feel like they have a certain impact on me in my life. And it kind of helped me, like, their death, their life has impacted my life in certain ways that I say it's just, it's like you have no words for it. I have no words for how certain people in my life has affected me, especially like people that I truly loved, that I know that truly loved me. Like, for example, my grandma Pearl. Like, I talk about her a lot to people, and it's mostly because she is so inspirational. Like, I love her to the fullest, and the type of life that she lived was kind of an example for me to know what type of life I want to live, what type of journey I want to be on. She was highly spiritual. She took her time, and hold on, y'all, I'm a little hot. Yeah, she took her time. She didn't rush things in life. She just let things come to her. She had goals, she had aspirations, but she understood that she could only control herself. She couldn't control others. She controlled herself. She knew the type of power that she held within herself. She accepted who she was. She was a beautiful soul, a beautiful spirit. She was humble. She was kind. She was loving. And she was one of a kind, very unique. She had queen energy. Like, she was one of the most, like, the greatest people that I know. She wasn't like, I say she was a person that showed me what duality means as a human being. So when it comes to human beings, we have a good part of us and the bad part of us. And there has to be a balance with everything. And I felt like she was cool. Like, she cursed like a sailor, but she was good and sweet. She had a good personality. She was good spirited. She treated people good. She put out positive energy a lot. Like, people came to her for advice about things because she was so wise. And I'm using her as an example because she kind of like, she's kind of the reason why I am the woman that I am today. She helped raise me and taught me a lot of life lessons that I hold dear to my heart. She's one of the most mysterious people that I have lost. And her death and her life has impacted me in ways that is so inspirational and so like such a blessing. I feel like she was such a blessing to so many people and to me in so many ways. And I just feel like I wouldn't be who I am without her. Like I feel like she was that impactful. And so I feel like just I want y'all to know that if there's some people out there that are feeling depressed and sad and down and feeling like life is getting tough, like if it's getting rough, you don't know how you're gonna make it, you don't know how you're gonna push through. And I just want you to know that you're gonna be all right. Don't give up. Just wait and see. You might be going through a tough time right now in this present time, but it's just a season and it's just a test. It's just a trial. And I always try to remember the loved ones that I lost because it's a privilege to be here. It was a privilege for my grandma to live such a very long life and to be loved so much and to love others. And I just feel like she left, even though she didn't die in a peaceful manner, I feel like she left because she lived a life that she wanted to. She lived a life that she like desired to, you know? Like she lived the life to the fullest. She was not running from herself. She lived a particular life that was made for her. She stayed on her path. She wasn't trying to compete. She wasn't trying to fit in. She did her own thing. Like literally. She was uncomparable. Like, and I find that with the people that are like this, they are the most impactful. The people that seem weird, seem unique, or seem different, some of these people are the most impactful. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because they were created to do that, to be that. They were created to rock the boat in this world. And there's many of us out there like that. People like us who were created to shake up the world in a way that is going to help the matrix fall. You know what I'm saying? Like, we, the people that I'm speaking of, are people who live in their truth. They're the authentic self. And they have a spirit about them where they don't care if they're liked or loved. They're going to be them till they go. You hear me? That's what I mean. I mean people who just like stuck on, I'ma be me. I'm not gonna let you tell me who I wanna be. Either you can accept me or you don't. And that's how my grandmother was, baby. Okay? When she woke up, she manifested. She manifested a life that she wanted and deserved. I don't know everything that went on in her life. I just know bits and pieces because when I was growing up, I think she was like in her 50s/60s. She lived a long, long time. And I say, I say that when I knew her, she seemed as if she lived a long time. She was just so wise. She had so much experience about things. and she had built a life that was comfortable for her. She had a nice little house out there in the country with her own land. She had a garden. She had a porch where you could sit outside and just look at the sun go down. Like, she seemed like she was more at peace because she was always happy. She was always trying to spread love and joy and peace. And if she couldn't have that, she wanted you to get going or get on, or she'd find a way to make you laugh, you know. And it's so many people that I know that was impacted by her death, and it is because of how much of a good spirit that she was. And I want y'all to know that we all can't be good spirits. We have to work on that part. We can't forget that we are spirits first. And I know we kind of get lost with thinking that we're this body is us and all this other stuff. We are one, of course, but we are spirit first, and then we're human. Okay? So have grace for people, have grace for yourself. Okay? And it's good to have grace for yourself because nobody can be what you need them to be. You can only be who you need to be for yourself. And once you get that type of mindset, that concept, and let that sink in, let that realization sink in, that the only common denominator in this life is you, you're going to be more at peace. And I feel like my grandma was more at peace because she just was like, I feel like she lived on a cloud. I feel like she lived the life that she desired, and she lived her life to the fullest so much that she wanted to settle down and wanted to just enjoy her peace and quiet. And I really aspire to be like that one day. I aspire to be able to one day have a porch, have a nice little house that I own with a little garden and my my little farm in the back and my animals and all that. And I just want to be able to enjoy my life. Okay, we don't get to experience life like this, like when we just get to just have everything stand still. And I feel like being a country girl that I am, I did get to experience what that looks like and what that feels like, waking up to peace and quiet. And because most of all, when I was living, well, not living, but when I used to visit my grandma, you could call it living, I used to be out there a lot. We talk about 4 summers, but just for like, we gotta kind of ask ourselves, are we happy? Are we at peace? What does peace look like for you? I feel like happiness, peace, and all that is subjective to you. And it's important that you ask these questions because sometimes we get lost in this rat race that we call this thing called life, this thing called the matrix, you know, where you don't have time for those type of questions, right? And I'm going to bring that to attention. I'm going to bring that to your attention because do you ask yourself these questions? Do you? Are you happy? Do you feel good about your life? Is there something that you want to change but you're afraid? Are you afraid of something? Do you have fear about something? Do you ever fear that you're going to fail? Have you turned down opportunities because you're afraid that you're not good enough? Do you wonder what your life could have been or should have been if you would have did this or that, or if you would have stepped out and took a risk and opened the doors to trying to achieve your dreams? Do you have dreams? Do you want to achieve them? Are you afraid to? I don't know. These are questions that I ask myself. It took me some time to get to this point where I can ask these questions, but now that I am able to, I kind of just want to spread awareness about this. I just want to say we're living in a dark world. There's a lot of light, especially with light workers, but there's a lot of dark people with dark energy who have agendas, and especially people who run America. So the type of dark energy that they have to harness it from somewhere. They have to gather it from somewhere. And they're gathering it from whoever that they can, however that they can. And I know that we don't think about it, but for the people who work for others people or other establishments, do you ever wonder why your job environment is toxic? Like, do you wonder why it has to be toxic and why it has to be that way and what that means? And do you wonder why you're taught at a young age how to have facades and images and hide your true self, hide your true feelings? Like, do you think about why it is set up that way and what is the point of it? What are you living for? What are we here for? Do you like wonder these questions? I wonder. But we're all just doing the best that we can. So I did want to take this time to let you know that I see you, I hear you, I feel you. You know who you are. You're freaking awesome, man. Simply amazing. A gift from God. Okay? And don't you ever freaking forget it. I don't care how different you are, how weird you might seem to others. We're not meant to be followers, you guys. We were meant to start trends. We were meant to do great things. We were meant to be productive in this world in ways that others can't. We were meant to stay on our own path and have our own journey. And I know the world, the society will make you feel like that you're supposed to be like everybody else, but you aren't. You have gifts and a purpose that was specifically made for you. Isn't that great? I don't care if you're a twin, baby. Like, you have your own purpose. And I'm just so happy to be able to say that out loud and know it and feel it and accept it. Because for a long time, I was afraid of who I was and my abilities and what that looked like and why am I like this? I always felt different. Am I the only one that feels like different? Like, I always wondered why I always felt different. Like, I didn't ever fit in anywhere. And I always wondered why. Like, why can't I just fit in? Why can't I be like them? You know? And I mean them as in my peers, people around me that I knew, my family members. I'm not even like them. I'm totally different. I mean, I have a lot of attributes that my mom has. I have her temperament, some personality traits, but I was always different in every single way. So much so that I'll be getting asked questions like, why do you act like that? Why do you talk like that? Why do you read so much? Why are you so quiet? Why are you so reserved? Like, why do you smile so much? Like, these are the type, I'm swear to you, these are the type of questions that I used to get on a regular basis, and it was so exhausting to have to keep explaining myself of why I am the way that I am. This is how God made me. Okay, I've always been like super nice, super chill, cool vibe. I've never really been super loud, super obnoxious. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's just for the simple fact of there was something wrong with me because I wasn't like people around me. And I just thought that was always odd. Like, why is it that I have to be like you for you to accept me? You get what I'm saying? So there's people out here that feels like that. And I just want to let you know that you're perfect the way that you are. If you're not a certain way or like your peers and they don't accept you, so what? All you got to do is accept yourself and everything's going to work out just fine for you. You weren't meant to be like everybody else. And I want to get this uplifting message to people because sometimes we forget that we have our own path and our own journey. And now that we're living the way that we choose to, that's what we need to work on. We need to work on our higher self, our spirituality. We need to accept our choices, and whether it's make better choices or do better things with our lives or be better people, it's time to take the action. Now's the time. Now's the time to work on yourself. They're implementing things behind the scenes in the government. I feel like our choices are going to be limited. I don't want to say feel like, but I feel like they're trying to take our choices away, like freedom of speech and all that. They're trying to take those privileges away. So while you have the time to work on yourself, just do it. Okay? We really, the people that are woke, we really have to take the time to work on ourselves. We have to push through. I know it's hard. I know it's rough sometimes. If you're feeling down and depressed, I'm with you. Some days I don't feel like getting out of bed. I just wanted to make this video to uplift y'all, because y'all ain't the only ones, I promise you, boo. You're not the only one that feel like that. I be feeling like that a lot. Even if something is going good, I'm still struggling with it a lot. Mentally and emotionally. Like, blessings to y'all, and happy holidays.